Here on Canfield Drive, echoes of August and of November stand side by side. One a monument to sadness, the other anger, but both silently screaming, why? That was the burning question in Ferguson after the grand jury decision. While Ferguson was asking why, the city's mayor was asking where. Where was the National Guard?
It was my understanding that they would be deployed if needed to maintain order and protect businesses. They were not.
There was no National Guard soldier standing in front of this building when it was set on fire. Why? Because the Missouri National Guard was ordered to stay off the front lines. Orders that were changed only after the smoke had cleared.
Violence we saw in the areas of Ferguson last night cannot be repeated. That is why, in order to protect lives and property, we are bringing more resources to Ferguson and other parts of the region to prevent a repetition of the lawlessness experienced overnight.
For the next week, a tripled National Guard stood watch in front of burned-out buildings, soldiers guarding piles of ash. To find out how this happened, the Five on Your Side investigative team immediately sent a public records request to the governor. His deputy chief of staff responded with this letter, quote, "You should expect to hear back no later than December 23rd. So we went all the way to the state capitol for an interview, but Governor Nixon's door was closed to the media. All we got was an email from his staff. The governor won't be available, not scheduling any interviews at the current time.
Whenever he can, he hides and will not give answers that the people have a right to hear.
Republican Peter Kinder has been Missouri's lieutenant governor for a decade. He says he asked the Democratic governor the same questions we did. When we asked for an interview with the National Guard and for basic information about the deployment, we got a 2-week-old press release. Please see the press release from Governor Nixon on November 17th, in which he announces that the Missouri National Guard will support law enforcement efforts in the event of unrest in the St. Louis region.
Governor Nixon owes the people of Missouri a whole bunch of answers, and I'm disappointed that he would respond to news media inquiries by doing the same thing he did to me. They handed my assistant the press statement from the night before in Monday's rioting. Now, how pathetic is that?
There's a reason hundreds of National Guard troops were protecting empty government buildings and Busch Stadium while Ferguson burned. That was the plan.
The Guard is not going to be confronting the protesters. It will not be on the front line, interacting directly with the demonstrators.
To be fair, had Governor Nixon sent in 2,200 Guard members right out of the gate, and we had the same result or a similar one, wouldn't we be blaming him now for too much of a military response?
No, I don't believe we would. The governor sent them in force on Tuesday, the day after they were needed. The legislature convenes the first week of January with subpoena power, and there will be all his department heads brought to the table. If necessary, put under oath. They can appear voluntarily, or they can appear pursuant to a subpoena.